Okay, in this video, we're actually going to run the program. I'm going to put a breakpoint at get salesperson's name, and we'll kind of see how the program operates. So we'll start it up. Hit any key when you're ready to continue. So hit a key, enter the number of people. We'll say 4 again, and we'll stop right there. Okay, so there's get salesperson's name. And let's walk through it a little bit. So we'll do an F11. So here we are in the get salesperson's name within the Temp Agancy UI class. So console write line just puts a few new lines in there. So it's X starting at 0, and if you look down here, you will see X is 0. My agency, which is a object dot salesman, which is the name of the array, and length is 4, which is I just said we're going to have 4 people. So there's my agency object salesman array, one-dimensional array, length 4. Okay, so let's step through it. So X starts at 0, X is less than 4. So it's going to say please enter the, and this will say X plus 0. So 0 plus 1 is 1. Please enter the first salesperson's name. And then it's going to read it back. So if I look at my console screen, it says please enter the first salesperson's name, which was Amanda Dawson, D-A-W-S-O-N. Okay, we'll go down again. And now it's going to call set salesperson method, which is in the agency class, and I call the object my agency, and we're going to pass 0 and the name Amanda Dawson. So we'll jump over to there, set salesperson's name. So index 0, name Amanda Dawson. We now set it. If I look at my array, and there it is at location 0, Amanda Dawson. Okay, so let's go and continue on. So now we're going to increment X. X is now 1, as you can see down here. And also, if I just put it over here, X is 1, which is still less than 4. And it's going to say, okay, enter the second salesperson's name. And I'll bring it up. Please enter the second salesperson's name. And in that case, it's Bob Franklin. Okay. So now the name is Bob Franklin, and X should be equal to 1. Let's see if I can bring up. There it is. So now let's jump again to set salesperson name. Index is 1. Name is Bob Franklin. So now we set it. And now if I look up here, again, here's my one-dimensional array. Amanda Dawson, Bob Franklin. Okay, let's continue. And we'll just do the same thing. Now we will read the third person's name. And that one is Sarah. I'll just put weather. Okay. And again, X should be equal to 2. Yep. It's the third element in the array. The name is Sarah Weather. And I will continue here. And again, look up here. And there's the 3 names. So we'll continue on. One more. So now we're going to make X equal to 3. 3 is still less than 4. Enter the fourth salesperson's name. And that person is going to be Chin. I'll give him a little up. Okay, something like that. Enter. And again, we'll go to here. And if I look, index is 3, name is Chinyani. Hit that. look at the salesman's array, there's all the names. So I've now set the salesman array with the names, a one-dimensional array. So get out of here. Look at the array, we'll increment it to 4. 4 is not less than 4. So we jump over the whole thing. We get out of the for loop, and we leave this method. So that was it, the salesperson's names. I got them all. Now we're going to get sales data. Again, I'm going to pass my object name for Temp Agency class, and I called it an agency. That's the object name. So we jump down to get sales data. And down here, I just called the object agency, but it's of the same type, so I passed it. Initial sales is a double. So again, I put a couple lines, and I'm going to go through this. And again, I'm going to go from 0 to 4. And please enter the initial sales figures 4. And I'm going to pull back the person's name. So in this case, if I look here, let's see if I can get it up. It's 0. If I look, that should be Amanda Dawson. So I'm going to try and double parse Amanda Dawson. Let's see if it came up yet. Yeah, please enter the initial sales for Amanda Dawson. And I think it was 50,000. Okay, and you don't see it because I have to hit this first. Okay, and let's see if it came up. There it is, 50,000. Okay, so we did that. Now we're going to call set initial sales. X is 0. Initial sales is 50,000. So now we go to set initial sales. Here it is. Index 0, because 0 is the row. Row contains the person's name, Amanda Dawson. And this is her initial sales, 0. The second ones are the columns, which will be the first month or 0 month, first month, second month, third month, fourth month. So all I'm doing is setting the sales for the initial month. So I set that. And if we look up on sales, you'll see the 50,000 at 0, 0. Okay, so let's continue. And again, it's now equal to, X is now equal to 1. And let's enter a value. In this case, it's 60,000. Okay. And again, we will go up to set the sales. And so here it is, 60,000. Index is 1. So we're going through the second row. We're setting up the second row, first column or 0 column. Okay. Now let's go and do the next one. And that too is 60,000. And we'll set up the last one. And that's going to be 50,000. Okay. Now again, we'll set up, and this is index 3. It's the fourth row, starting with 0, 0, 1, 2, 3. And we'll set it up to 50,000. And if I look up the array up here, where is it here? And we'll show it. You can see the first column, 50, 60, 60. If you look at it, 0, 0, 0, and come down here, 0. The first column is all set. The other columns have not been set for the row. This is where we're going to calculate the 5%, 10%, 15%, and 20%. 5, 10, 15, 20, 5, 10. And this is for the first person, which is row 0, Amanda Dawson. And then here's the rest of them. This is for the second person, which is Bob Franklin. First month, second month, 5, 10, 15, 20. And here's for Sarah Weather. First month, second month, third month, fourth month. Here's her initial. And then here is for Chinyani. First month or initial month, first month, second month, third month, fourth month, 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay, so let's continue. And now x is equal to 4. 4 is not less than 4. We jump out and get sales data. Okay, now we're going to produce the sales production table. So we don't have to pass anything over to Temp Agency class. Everything is up there. They're class variables, so I don't have to pass anything. And again, for index equals 0, we're going to start with the first row. The length is, let's see if we can get the length here. Notice it's a 0 here. Sales get length of 0. Let's just do that. We should see, let's see if I can bring it up. Should be a 4 because it's on row. I just don't see it yet. Let's see if I can see it now. Nope, no way. What do we got here? Nope, I can't see it. Let's see if I see it down here. Yeah, here it is, 4. It returned a 4 right here. System.array.getLength returned 4. So it's a 4, which is what I expect it to be. So now we take the first index, which is 0, 0, 0, and we look at the sales for 0, 0. And we're going to multiply it by 1.05. The sales for 0, 0 was 50,000. So we're going to multiply 50,000 by 1.05, or increase it by 5%. And we're going to put it in 0, 1. So now if I look at the index, and let's see if I can bring up, there it is, sales. There it is, 50,000. Multiply it by 1.05. Raise it 5%, becomes 52,500. Now I take that 52,500, multiply it by 1.1, or 10%. And again, I put it, same row, 0. This is all for Amanda Dawson. And I put it in the second place. So now it's 57750. And you can see a whole bunch of zeros and 7. When we print it out, we're not going to allow it to print out all that information. We will just cut it off. Okay, so now we will continue on, and we will take that number and multiply it by 1.15. So we're taking the amount from month 2 and multiplying it by 15%. For Amanda Dawson, we're still on the first row. And if I look here, her third month at 15% should be $66,412.50. Now I take that number and multiply it by 1.2, or 20%. And I put it into the final one, the final month. And there it is, $79,695. So that's how much she has to go up by 5% every month, starting with her initial 50,000. That's Amanda Dawson. That's the first row. Second row starts at 60,000. We're just going to do the same thing. So I'll go through it for that one. And if we look here, there, everything is filled in for the second row, which is Bob Franklin. So he starts at, where is it? Yeah, right here, 60,000. He has to go to 63,000, then 69,300, then 79,695, then 95,634. And now we're on the third person, 60,000 for Sarah Weather. That is her first amount. We'll go through this again. And if we look at the array, they're all her amounts. She starts at 20, and boom, just keeps going up. And the only one we have left is the final one, which is Chinyani. He starts at 50,000, and let's just go through it for him. And let's look at the sales. Everybody's now filled in. We have all the rows filled in, all the columns for each row. Okay, so now we're done. The index is 4. 4 is not less than 4. We get out of this. We go back to produce sales production table. Now we're going to display the results. So let me put a breakpoint right. Let's see. Notice here, let's put a breakpoint right here. Let's see. Debug, toggle breakpoint, and I will continue. Oh, I put the whole thing out, didn't hit the breakpoint. What I wanted to show, though, which it didn't show, is right here. I set up an array called the name. And so when I took the name, like say, Amanda Dawson, there was a space in between. And I said, split that array, which would be 0, on the space, and put it into the array, the name. The array only has 2 indices, 2 elements. So what would happen is in the name 0 would be Amanda, first name, and then in the name 1, which would be the second element, it would be Dawson, her last name. So now I have Amanda in the name 0 and Dawson in the name 1. And so to write it to just the other way, I put the last name first, Dawson, then I just put a comma, and then I put the first name. I also put a little space here, Amanda. So this came out Dawson, comma, space, Amanda. And then I put out her information. And notice right here it says 2, so it says only put 2 places past the decimal point. So if I look at what I got here, Amanda Dawson, 50,000, and there's their 2 places past the decimal point. That was 0. C2, 52,500. That's 5% more than that. 10% more than that is 57,750. 15% more than that is 66,412. 20% more than that is 79,695. And if you look in the book, I think these agree with what they had in the book. Same thing I did with Bob Franklin, Sarah Weather, and Chinyani. And here are all their amounts. Okay, if you have any questions, again, this is in our class programs under the course documents section. You can go through it at your leisure. Make sure you understand it. And if you have any questions next time we meet, which will be on Tuesday, October 9th at 5:30, have any questions, just bring them to class with you. Thanks.